Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into the thick of it today, specifically the digital gold rush. You know, that whole modern online hustle ecosystem. But look, we're not going to bog you down with heavy academic theory here. Instead, we're bypassing all that and diving straight into a fascinating, real-world case study pulled right from the front lines of YouTube. We want to see how these big, modern digital ambitions actually play out in the wild. Let's just get right to it.
Passive Income 2026. Seriously, take a second. How does that exact, super ambitious phrase make you feel? It instantly hits you with this very specific, really alluring vibe, doesn't it? It feels almost futuristic. It paints this beautiful picture of wealth that doesn't require any actual day-to-day effort, just entirely automated income, sitting a few years in the future, but somehow promised to you right now, today. Well, this exact phrase is actually the opening hook used in the source material we're looking at today. It's totally designed to grab you right by the collar and speak directly to that modern itch we all have, decoupling our time from our money. But as you're going to see, putting a big, bold phrase like that out into the world and actually achieving the dream it promises, yeah, those are two wildly different things.
And that brings us to our case study, a YouTube channel operating under the rather epic handle @DigitalGoldRush17. Now, despite having this incredibly grand name that literally conjures up images of endless wealth and rugged pioneers striking it rich, a quick peek behind the curtain shows this channel contains exactly 2 videos. Yep, just 2. And yet its branding perfectly and directly mirrors those massive, sweeping promises of digital wealth that flood our social media feeds every single day. It's literally a perfect microcosm of modern internet hustle culture, all neatly packaged into one incredibly tiny creator profile. Okay, let's dive into this. Based purely on its branding and the titles of those 2 videos, we can pretty clearly define what this Digital Gold Rush channel claims to be. Basically, it's positioned as a modern channel promising you financial freedom by leveraging the hottest, most current online wealth tactics. The creators out here attempting to position themselves as your seasoned guide to this brand new frontier. But you know, we really have to immediately contrast that massive structural promise with the actual reality of its incredibly microscopic library. 2 YouTube shorts. That's the whole shebang. That huge gap between the massive scope of the channel's name and the tiny volume of its actual output, that's our first really big clue about what's actually happening on this specific digital frontier. So building on that massive promise, let's look at the exact title of their very first uploaded short. The creator didn't just pick one catchy concept, no. They threw together this incredibly dense keyword salad. The title literally reads, Passive Income 2026, AI Side Hustles, Print on Demand Etsy, Make Money Online. They're just taking every single highly searched buzzword in the online business space right now and practically duct taping them together. This is absolutely a deliberate strategy to cast the widest net humanly possible. By tagging AI side hustles and print-on-demand Etsy in the exact same breath, the creator is essentially praying that the search algorithm will serve up the video to anyone looking for literally any way to make a quick buck online. And then, nestled right at the very end of that super dense, buzzword-heavy title is this one phrase, financial freedom. I really want you to stop and reflect on the immense weight of those 2 words. This isn't just about making a few extra dollars on the weekend, right? This is the ultimate promise. It is the absolute pinnacle of the modern online dream, total, complete liberation from financial worry, and it's being sold to you through a 15-second short-form video about AI and Etsy. The creator isolates this phrase as their final hook. It's the ultimate destination they're promising to the viewer who clicked on all those earlier buzzwords. But then, a really jarring shift happens. For their second, and remember only other, video, the channel makes this sudden dramatic pivot. The title of this second short is Stop Using Scammy Links, and it even comes complete with a giant red flag emoji. They completely abandon selling that dream of passive wealth and instantly pivot to issuing this stark, urgent warning. It's a genuinely fascinating psychological switch. First, they try to lure you in with the sweet allure of easy money. Then, literally the very next time they upload, they completely flip the script and try to grab your attention through fear, caution, and the promise of protecting you from the dark, scammy underbelly of the exact same industry they were just hyping up. But here is the kicker. Even within this urgent, cautionary warning, the creator's underlying strategy remains exactly the same. Right after shouting about scammy links, the title concludes with this little gem, in parentheses, USA Channel Growth 2026. You see what they did there? They meticulously injected those algorithm-friendly buzzwords right back in. They're targeting the concept of channel growth, they're suddenly specifying the USA to capture high-value advertiser demographics, and they're projecting into the year 2026 yet again. So even when they're playing the noble role of the whistleblower, the creator is still, fundamentally, just playing the SEO game. They're trying desperately to signal to the algorithm that this content is super valuable and forward-looking.
And this brilliantly illustrates our ultimate reality check, the actual performance of these strategies. Let's go back to that first video, okay? The one promising glorious passive income and total financial freedom. Well, the reality is, it got 0 views. Literally, absolutely nothing. It is just a stunning juxtaposition. The creator meticulously built a title promising the absolute world. They cast the widest net imaginable with the absolute trendiest keywords available. And the cold, hard reality of the digital ecosystem responded with total, deafening silence.
But hey, what about that second video? The big warning? Well, the actual view count for the Stop Using Scammy Links video sits at exactly 199. Now sure, 199 views is definitely a slight improvement over absolute 0, but man, it really grounds us in a very stark reality about early content creation. This absolutely isn't the raging gold rush promised in the channel's handle, is it? It's more like a tiny, bleaky trickle of attention. It essentially shows us that pivoting to a strong negative emotion, like a scary warning with a red flag, managed to capture a tiny little sliver of the algorithm's attention. But let's be real, 199 views is still miles and miles away from that financial freedom they originally advertised.
So, just taking a step back and comparing these two approaches side by side really clarifies the crucial point here. When the creator's focus was purely on passive income and stacking a bunch of incredibly positive buzzwords, the resulting view count was 0, a big goose egg. But when the focus shifted to a negative scam warning, while still slyly utilizing those growth keywords, the view count bumped up to 199 views. Looking at these numbers objectively, the big takeaway is honestly undeniable. Simply adopting popular buzzwords, jumping on trending topics, and giving yourself a grandiose channel name absolutely does not guarantee you an immediate audience. The internet is simply not a magic slot machine where typing the words financial freedom automatically deposits viewers or dollars directly into your account. Which really just leaves us with this final, incredibly vital question to ponder as we wrap up today. Based on the very stark reality of our friend at Digital Gold Rush 17, is true financial freedom actually built on a foundation of algorithmic buzzwords and keyword salads? Or is this modern digital gold rush actually a grueling, deeply unforgiving uphill battle for new creators who are mostly just shouting into a void of 0 views? So, the next time you're scrolling and you see those massive, life-changing promises online, I invite you to remember the raw data we looked at today. Question the lofty promises, look past the shiny keywords, and try to remember the gritty reality of what it actually takes to build a real audience from scratch. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will see you next time.